Hi, Geeta.
Hi.
Thank you for interviewing with us today.
My pleasure.
I understand that you have taken and finalized ATT, Advanced Teacher Training.
Yes.
And you're now RYT 500 certified.
I am. I think that's the first time I've heard it. Thank you.
You're welcome. How does it feel?
Oh, it feels phenomenal. It feels relief. It also feels very empowering. And I feel very grounded and centered in my practice now and much more able to share it.
Great.
Yeah.
When you had decided to embark on teacher training, did you expect to take it all the way through?
I had no idea what I was in for. I came to Yogaville in 2007 for the basic teacher training. And within the first couple of days, I knew I had found home away from home. It just felt that sense of community and gathering and sharing was just so overwhelming. I felt like I could just really fall into being myself. And instantly I knew I wanted to do ITT, the intermediate teacher training, the next summer, which I did. And then I needed some time out in the world, and I needed more experience and sort of boots on the ground teaching yoga and living the practices myself. So it took another 5 years till I came back, and I felt like I was really ready for advanced teacher training. I think what tipped the scale for me knowing I was ready is that I was beginning to feel sort of stale and bored of listening to myself while teaching yoga. Like, I've kind of lost my thread to the source. I've lost that spark, and I need to go sit at the feet of teachers who are much more advanced than I am and just sort of bask in that glow and reconnect and then bring it forth again. So I knew I was ready for the next level.
So 5 years between
5 years.
intermediate teacher training
Yeah.
and advanced teacher
Yeah,
training.
yeah.
And so what do you think is the difference between, or if you could summarize, the difference between intermediate and advanced? What would that be?
Well, the experience for the advanced teacher training, you're a bit more on your own because you're more steady and grounded in your own practice. So they give you things and they say, now go do it. Whereas definitely in basic teacher training, you're just babied and held all the way through. But now when you have more grounding for yourself, you can do more for yourself. So they raise the bar higher in that way. And then with the actual teachings themselves, it moves to an even subtler level of awareness. Whereas at first we're really concentrating, where does the foot go? Where does the hand go? It's sort of basic in that way. Now we're moving to just this really subtle awareness of how to move the energy through the body, how to connect with a quieter place, and moving from there. So we're really going back to the source of the yogic teachings, which is stilling the mind, and moving from that place rather than gross physical hand here, hand there, head there. So it gets more and more subtle and deeper and more powerful.
It sounds lovely.
It is.
Very subtle.
It
Very
is,
subtle.
yeah.
And so when you decided initially to take integral yoga and then to continue on with integral yoga, what were your thought processes in terms of deciding on this particular style of yoga versus another?
Well, for me, it was quite obvious. I had dabbled in lots of other styles until I felt like I found my home in integral yoga. And for me, the real sort of key factor, well, there were two. One was the connection to the root source of the text, Sri Patanjali and the Bhagavad Gita and all the ancient scriptural tie-in to what we're doing, so we never lose that base. And of course, having Swami Satchidananda guiding the force, he's really a spiritual leader embracing all faiths. And it was just so clear to me that the teaching wasn't just about the physical body, but it was really about a systematic way of living your life and feeling more liberated. So there was that component. And then integral yoga for me suited my body type because I'm very energetic and going, and integral yoga calms me down. And it's really taught me through the asana, through the breathing practices, through the scriptural study, that letting go is actually the means to getting farther. And I experienced that in my very first integral yoga class. I stopped pushing and I stopped muscling the poses and I just let go. And within a week of letting go, suddenly I was farther in the poses than I had been in 10 years of doing yoga. And it was like a revelation for me that letting go actually allows more to flow. And I've been trying to remember that ever since.
That is lovely. Even when you started speaking about letting go, you slowed down just a little. Yeah. That's lovely.
Yeah.
What do you intend to do with your certification?
Great question. I also teach yoga for the special child, and so that's a practice very near and dear to my heart. And the founder of that, Sonia Sumar, is also affiliated with Integral Yoga, and she lived here at Yogaville for a while. So the two are very closely aligned with just a few adjustments. So of course I'll continue my work with my special needs children and adults. And then I'm also sort of spearheading an effort where I work to develop a yoga department. I'm also a musician. So I'm developing some courses in teaching musicians yoga and really developing a center within the conservatory where I teach for yoga for musicians, yoga for the special child. And I'm not really sure where it's going to go from there. I just sort of have these ideas, and we're going to let the community determine how this grows. But I really see it as being sort of a beacon where I live on the South Shore of Boston for people to come and experience some of that peace and joy.
What wonderful work is ahead of you.
Yeah, it is.
You had mentioned earlier ecumenical or
Yes.
all faiths.
Yes.
What about that in particular is important to you?
I think for me, it's just, again, comes back to community. Feeling like when you come to a place like Yogaville or even to an integral yoga class, it's accepting of all people, body types, faiths, ages. There is really no sense of discrimination or judgment here at all. And I get that particularly every day at noon. We're blessed here to walk down to the Lotus Temple for our noon meditation. So it's a lovely walk through the woods on a winding road, and you come across this beautiful Light of Truth Universal Shrine, shaped like a lotus, in which each petal represents a different faith. And sitting in there, you can just feel encompassed in that wider philosophy that truth is one, paths are many. You can just feel it, and you sort of just, again, relax into yourself. So for me, just, I can be me, and that's it. And you can be you, and you can be you, but we're actually all just one. It's very peaceful for me.
It's so lovely to meet you and
likewise
see your vision and have the opportunity to spend some time with you.
Thank you
so very much for
my
spending
pleasure.
time.